As regards the supportive note that I left under what I thought was a friend's door, she had just sadly lost her husband, who had been ill for a long time, and was trying to reorient herself to like reality again, whether she wanted to live and so forth. Anyway, I left a note of support under her door, and it became a big controversy. I was called into the office by the house manager, who held up the note as if it were a dirty rag that I had deposited on her desk, and began a very emotional plea to me, an angry plea, that didn't I understand this person was suffering, and so on and so forth, and I didn't dare put a note underneath. And I said, I acquiesced immediately. I said, I'm terribly sorry. I could feel the woman's pain, believe me. By the way, she was the only one who was allowed to put a note on the bulletin board extensively explaining about her husband and her loss, which I thought was pretty lousy, in that no one else has been allowed. We've had several deaths here, and there's been no notation. All we know about them is that there's furniture in the dumpster suddenly, and another one bit the dust, huh? Right? That's the dirty little secret here. So in any case, I said I acquiesced to me, and I'm terribly sorry. Now, the individual in question, who was in authority on that day, chose to take it further and press. Now she had her advantage. She was going to press it further, right? And so that's when I blew up, and she said to me, well, I'm going to write you up. I had never heard of such a thing, nor in my life have I been written up. And I've not been a perfect student or citizen sometimes, and never committed a crime of any sort, nor wanted to. Yet she was using this power play. I've been told to, who knows? And that's when I lost it. And I said, go ahead, write me up. Never heard of such a thing. How dare you treat me like a child? I'm a senior, I'm your senior, okay? Then she said, I'm going to call the police. And I said, do it. So get this, the person in question that I was trying to support suddenly appears, like from nowhere. How did she know I was speaking with the house manager about this very topic? And why, if she was upset about the note, why didn't she come directly to me instead of reporting it to apparently a staff member who then brought the note to the house manager? And that's when I thought, well, look, if you really need to put me out for nothing wrong that I've done, this is pretty queer, but I'm ready to go. And that's how I felt. So you're not allowed to put notes under people's doors. And I've lived other places where you can't put a note on the door either. God forbid we should communicate with one another and compare notes. I pass.